Good afternoon, Aquarius. Welcome to Kiki's Doorway. Let's find out what your past life wants you to know for July 12th to July 18th, 2018. But before we do that, I got to give the huge shout out to Kiki's Doorway Star Power Warriors. Got to get the shout out to the subscribers first. So let's get it started. Okay, Miss Williams, Ublimminum, the 305 Goddess, Miss Wise, Mr. Well, Mr. Ibrahim, Miss Polar, Miss Hello Kick Girl for Life, Miss Armstrong, Miss Kimberly, Sacred Waspins, Nicole Matthew, Perry Asiri, Himanidas, Enk Dees, Teresa Manor, Way Shower, Sylvia Candia, Mr. Aldana, Miss Saloon, Nabil, Miss Asim, Mr. Magia, Miss Sean, Mr. Sims, Miss Tabby, Amanda Smith, Shirley Gallianis, Vina Harris, Linda Mickey 0509, Miss Latori, Heaven Lovecat, Bernadette Pergolis, and Isaac Capricorn. Hey subscribers, hey Star Power Warriors, and to all the Kiki Doorway viewers, thank you for walking with me through the door towards the Akashi Records. It means a lot to me. It keeps me going. I love what I do. I finally found something that I love to do, and I enjoy it, and I enjoy spending it and sharing the time with you. So Mr. and Miss Aquarius, let's see what your past life would like you to know for July 12th to July 18th, 2018. Okay. God, Gaia, God, Goddess, Mother, Father. What does Aquarius past life want them to connect to for July 12th to July 18th? I know in July 4th to July 11th, you tapped into your medicine man and medicine woman side of yourself. So let's see what your past life wants you to connect to now that you have embarked on that. What does Aquarius past life want them to rediscover on July 12th to July 18th, 2018? What actions should Aquarius take? What actions will Aquarius take on July 12th to July 18th? We ain't know if it is. What will Aquarius take for action on July 12th to July 18th? What actions will Aquarius take on July 12th to July 18th, 2018? Okay. Okay. See? So, Mr. and Miss Aquarius, your past life wants you to rediscover food and hunger. So, Aquarius, that makes sense. From July 4th to July 11th, you just rediscovered that in your past life, you were once a chiefman, a shaman. You were the medicine man and medicine woman. And in this life is asking you to, for July 12th to July 18th, connect your holistic medicine man and medicine woman approach to food and hunger. When you think of food, what is your symbol of food? What is your representation of food? For me, it used to be eating a lot of meat, like out of the week, maybe 4 times out of the week. Now I look at food a little bit differently. Because it's hot, my body doesn't want meat. What it craves for now is a lot of fruits, vegetables, and water, salsa water, juices you can add water to, or natural juices like fruits you can make into juice. I've done. I love smoothies, so now I make a lot more smoothies than I actually eat meat. So I had to realize that my view on food was at first negative because of my experience with food. As a child, my mom and my family, we moved from place to place. We didn't have a home until maybe a year or two later, when I was very young. I could say 7, 8 years old. So when I used to eat food, I became overweight because my concern was, what if we don't have money to get groceries? What if we don't have enough for the next day? So I might as well eat as much as I can and keep it in my body, which messed up my metabolism. So to fight the hunger, or the trigger of hunger, was the depriving of what if I don't have. So now, even in my life now, I can still go back to those triggers of overeating. But once I feel that urge to overeat, or to, like a chipmunk, because a lot of people call me chipmunk because I have like really big cheeks. So when I was young, they would call me chipmunk cheeks, because even then I used to store food in my mouth and I wouldn't eat it. And then my mom would have to literally take it out of my mouth, and she would ask me, like, why do I do that? And I had to be honest with her and say, Mommy, I'm not sure if we will eat the next day, so that's why I keep it, so just in case. And she had to break me out of that by showing me, okay, it's places like pantries that you could go to, it's fruit stands that you go to, rather, like, if you don't have enough to get, like, if you have $1, this is what you could get for fruits and ices. So she showed me how I could, yes, address the hunger by seeing my reality. My reality is, even in the now, I'm okay when it comes to food. Yes, my income has changed. However, the way I look at food changed. So even if I don't get income, or my income has decreased, I know the places, I know exactly how to rebudget myself to look at fruits, vegetables, and other outlets to get food. So if you're concerned, Mr. and Miss Aquarius, about food and hunger, look at where is it coming from. Is it coming from your childhood? Like my childhood, I just admitted, I moved from place to place until we finally had a home. So that meant that my mom's income when she was alive, when we were younger, was at times not stable, and that was okay, because life does that. Situations in our life do that. So rather than my mom get depressed, she found outlets to get the food so we would not be hungry. So if you're concerned about even that, what if your life purpose, or what if one of your abilities is helping others to not feel like food has to equate to hunger? Because when you think of food, you have to have money to get food, right? So if we're looking at food and hunger as the same thing, as if you're in poverty, then how you would make your finances will be in that same mindset. So to have a positive outlook on food and even hunger, because hunger tells our body what it needs. What is your body geared up to eat? Right now we're in the summer. Maybe your body is trying to tell you that it wants more fruits, it wants more vegetables, it is looking to have more water, more watermelons. Finding out, even Pinterest is a app where they help you with the food that you naturally have in your house and how to make them into meals so you don't get hungry. Helping others in their concept, even asking others how do they solve food and hunger. Ask people that you connect with, Aquarius, that you feel are logical in their approach to things, and see what they say about food and hunger. You'll be surprised that you will find your answers, or you will find pieces to the puzzle that you needed to solve this issue. So when you are that medicine man and woman for someone, you can know from a place of your past and then other people's view of food and hunger. So let's see what past life during virtue says about food and hunger for Mr. and Miss Aquarius. You didn't have enough to eat in your past lives, causing you to overeat or hoard food in this incarnation. You may have weight or eating disorder issues because you associate eating with fear instead of hunger. You harbor insecurities about whether there will be enough food in the future, so you may stock up of supplies. You also serve yourself large portions and make sure to eat everything on your plate just in case. Now that used to be me, and I'm a Taurus, so we don't like to waste food because we know, like, we feel like if I wasted food, right, I felt like, how many hungry people out there that would want the food that I didn't eat, and I have the nerve to put it in the garbage. That's wasteful. So now what I would do is, rather than make a full plate, I will literally put a scoop of each thing on my plate and eat whatever's eat what's I want on the plate. Now, if, say for instance, I'm full and I don't have much, what I could do is put in a container and put it in the refrigerator and have it for lunch the next day, or make another meal out of it for the next day or later on at night. So let's see what Doreen Virtue says. Let's continue. Your income your income, and it goes right back to food, but that's for something else. Let's go continue. You also serve yourself large portions and make sure to eat everything on your plate just in case there won't be enough, right? For some people, this pattern also applies to fears about having enough water to drink. That would explain the cup. Water, right? Let's see. Often just remember the past life pattern is enough to heal the issue. Understand that past is over and will not repeat in this current lifetime. The goal should be to learn from it and then let it go. Also, let fears of deprivation fade away. As they are no longer necessary, open yourself up to abundance. So, and I felt that when talking about food, finances, if you're concerned about your finances and not being abundant, Aquarius, you have the natural ability to make nothing into something. Or let's say if you don't have much, let me say it in a different way. Aquarius, you have the natural ability to have very few, right? And turn it into something big. So say for instance you had this bread, right? For example, Aquarius, you had this bread, right? And you're wondering, how can I eat this whole bread and tomorrow I might not have money for it. I might not have money to eat, right? So this from you knowing naturally how days go and how your body works and how much energy it needs based on food, you can look at this loaf of bread and say, hey, I could cut this in half and eat this, right? Eat one half now and eat the other half the next day. Or I could find out how to make natural bread. All I need is flour and other ingredients. Once I found out what those ingredients are, I can make my own loaf of bread. Even with water, if I don't want the water in my house, it's water in the grocery store. If you have a house, how you can have water be sent to your place, so that way you have a supply of water. Even how your pipes are done, having a healthy set of pipes and knowing the amount of water that goes through it to your home, to your building, will help not only with the amount of purification, but it will help in finances, because the amount of water we use also determines how much we pay for the water bill, right? So that would make sense. So you have every reason to be concerned about food and hunger. Now your lesson or your challenge or I would say like a game. Use this as a game. Figure out how to solve your version of food and hunger. What is the actions you would take? You will have the balance. You will use that. You will have source on your side. The Aries side of yourself, the Taurus side of yourself, the Cancerian, the Gemini side of yourself, the communicating side of yourself, that ground. You already are grounded. You already have the passion. You have the communication skills. You have the Cancerian nurturing side of yourself. And you have the heart of the lion within you to tackle this issue of food and hunger. Once you tackle it, you also can help many others. That is a skill or ability that not too many people have. How to tackle food and hunger in the community and worldly. The next actions you will take will be the 5 of air. Wow, Aquarius, you're going to be tapping into your communicating side. And you're also going to use the Leo again. 5, 5, 10. When you do that, the Capricorn side of yourself will unlock. You will have that fire to know how to connect that in a material way. It says 5 of air, an unwise choice. Learn what you can from this situation. An unwise choice. Learn what you can from the situation. Is connected to food and hunger. Unwise choice. Was it when it comes to finance? Was it an unwise choice of how you looked at food or how you interpret managing your finances? Review everyone's motives. Okay. Unwise choice. You hold the balance to solve food and hunger. You know exactly what is needed intuitively. You know exactly the right communication skills to address this matter. Even if it was an unwise choice, once you solve the answer to the root of the issue of food and hunger, then you will understand more about the situation and everyone's motives behind it. That's why when was addressed to ask not only yourself but other people that you trust and have a logical mindset, their view of food and hunger or their personal experience based on food and hunger, you can see where people get their motives from. Once you understand where people get their motives from, then the unwise choice that was made can become wise. And the things that you had to learn in the situation will become clear, because you will have a well-balanced understanding. You will have Archangel Zadkiel in guiding you on the intentions and motives of others when it comes to finances, when it comes to their balance of abundance. The need for balance and moderation. And it goes back to food and hunger. When we have food, when I was talking about having a scoop of each meal, or if it was dealing with your intimate relationships or relationships in general, knowing what kind of boundaries, what kind of degree of yourself you're willing to give so you do not feel deprived or emotionless, or like as if someone is taking your emotions. Cooperation and compromise. Wait for perfect timing. You have the balance in you, Aquarius. You have the scales on your side, and it shows right here. And you have your emotions well balanced. You have the masculine and feminine energy within yourself, that spiritual side of yourself, well balanced. So much so that the unwise choice that people make, you will understand based on their intentions on why they do that. So for July 12th to July 18th, Aquarius, you hold the key to unlocking the answers of why people do the things they do, so they do not become food, that they do not become without lack of food, without lack of finances, to the point where sometimes it changes people's intentions and character, sometimes in not such a good way. But because you're Aquarius, because you always hold the scales of justice, you will know, based on the questions you will ask to others about their view and their personal experiences, you will now unlock people's motives. When you do that, any unwise event that comes your way, you will know how to be wise in tackling them. So until we meet again, Mr. and Miss Aquarius, show us how to be financially, emotionally, physically, spiritually abundant and not feel deprived. So till we meet again, I and we will see you on the other side.